Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us again for an exciting webinar. I very much appreciate time you took out of your busy schedule and to participate in today's webinar. I will give it, as usual, some little bit more time for the rest of the registered people to log on, and I will get back to you shortly. Let's give it another 3 to 5 minutes. Thank you. All right. Let's get started. Everybody can hear me now. And as usual, I like to begin the presentation with a couple of housekeeping items. So everyone on the webinar is muted. This just makes it sure we don't have any unnecessary background noises like barking dogs during the presentation. But not to worry, there are other ways you can communicate with us as we go. Everyone has a chat box. That's the one on the right-hand side with the go to webinar toolbar. Please use it to ask any questions throughout the webinar or let us know if you're experiencing sound or visuals cutting out. We will have a bit of time for Q&A at the end of the presentation, but feel free to already ask questions as we go along and we get back to them in our Q&A section. We will also have some poll questions during the webinar. As usual, these poll questions are included to help keep everyone obviously engaged and learn about each other. Your individual answers will not be shown to the rest of the audience, only the aggregated results. So let's get right into it. I'm Roman, the one who just spoke, and I'm going to be joined by our co-host Hendrik from TrackFlow today. Hopefully Hendrik has now the ability to actually speak to us. So hi Hendrik. Maybe I'm not sure if he's connected. Hendrik, can you hear us? Okay, I think he just dropped off. Let us see if we can somehow get him back.
Hello.
Hi, Hendrik. Perfect.
Hello. Okay, now we're here. Sorry for struggling with the sound.
No problem. Perfect. All right. Now that we have you on the line, I will start out with my quick intro, really quick. So I'm Roman, the Regional Marketing Manager here at the EMEA Cologne office. You may have joined me on the webinar before, or met me or heard me speak at one of our trade shows this year. If so, thank you very much for returning for another exciting webinar and talk, and it's great to see you again. And if you are new to Miovision, welcome, and we hope you will find this webinar, in particular its content, very interesting. So let's see what's on the agenda today. So usually I start out with a quick overview of Miovision. The second part is going to be our fireside chat. I'm very much looking forward to with Hendrik. And then we're talking a little bit about where Miovision can help you in terms of simplicity and flexibility with their solution. Point 4, since we are talking about business growth, I want to show you some features and that I think you might have not noticed before, and for the ones who are new, which you use in order to engage your customers. Number 5, this is a new program we want to start in 2020, and it's a marketing partner program. And at the end of the webinar, we also have some Q&A. Okay. So for the ones who don't know us, Miovision is a Canadian company. We have been in the business for over 13 years now. And we sometimes like to call us the world's most trusted traffic data provider. As you can see, we have now actually surpassed the 7 billion vehicles counted. We have more than 770 million bikes counted so far. And the number on the right, the 66 countries we are present, has actually been surpassed some time ago. We are now in 69. So what is our traffic data being used for so far? The majority of our clients uses the data they collect with us for safety, projects, pavement designs, active transportation. I mean, you as the end users know best what you can use this data for in particular. And just to give you an overview of where we are, so in Europe in general, we have over 300 clients. There are more than 1,000 scouts in use at this point of time, and we're actually processing more than 15,000 video hours a month. So that already shows you how well established we are, in particular within Europe as well. We also cater to markets outside of Europe. That includes the Middle East, Africa as well. So we have a couple of customers on the African continent. And for the ones who know, since we are a Canadian company, there's a good number of customers in North America as well. All right. I want to, before we go ahead with our fireside chat, I want to run a quick poll. So because I find it to be always nice to know who's actually on the call. So let me pull up the poll question, and I would love you to just tick the appropriate box, and you should be able to see it right now. Okay. All right, I'll let the individual votes come in. Okay. We have a couple more people who need to click the button. Yeah. Almost there. All right, I give it another 10 seconds and then I will close the poll. Okay, perfect. Let me share the results with you. All right, what I can see, we have a good number of engineering firms, so it's almost quite equal to the data collectors and the others. Later on, I maybe would like to learn what the others mean. We have a little bit of university and a few government entities as well. Awesome, great. We hide the results. And move on to our fireside chat. So now it's for Hendrik, his time to rise and shine. And I hope you can hear him quite well. Hendrik, if you can say something really quick.
Yeah, do you hear me well? Is the sound level okay?
Okay. I think they can. I have my headphones in, so it should be possible. All right, so let's dive right into it. I think the most pressing question is, can you tell us a little bit about you? Say, for example, how long you have been in business, what type of projects did you manage, what your clients were actually, so things like this surrounding, also maybe a little bit about yourself as well.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Roman, for inviting me to this webinar. Well, I'm 52 years old and I've been dealing with IT and technology business for almost 30 years now, and I've been in this traffic business now for about 10 years. And during this time I have been employed by a company called EMEA for almost exactly 10 years. And now during this autumn I have established my own company, which is focused on data collecting and traffic surveys and such things. And my experience is from during the first 5-6 years of my traffic career, we were operating on a large-scale ANPR system, which was used by the Finnish Transport Infrastructure Agency. So this was used for travel time purpose on the main road in Finland. And in addition to that, I have also participating in several traffic surveys, which was ordered by Finnish Transport Infrastructure Agency and also by other public organizations and cities, municipalities, and also by some public transport companies in the Helsinki region.
Oh.
And in some cases, I've also been acting as a subcontractor to a large traffic planning consultant companies. So that's basically what I have done, and it, of course, everything from single traffic counting, to more comprehensive traffic surveys, including could be roadside interviews, web surveys, which are conducted and we're measured by, well, as I mentioned before, EMEA cams by radar counters, tube counters, and also in the last 3-4 years now we have also introduced the Miovision technology in our services. Well, that's shortly what I have done.
Brilliant. And the clients you have worked with, did they more come from a private background, or was it more municipalities or city, or was it a good mix itself?
Well, mainly municipalities, cities and municipalities, which have been the end customers. But there could have been also traffic planning consultants in between, and we have then worked as a subcontractor to this planning company. But mainly road owners, and at least in Finland, almost all road owners are either the Finnish Transport Infrastructure Agency or the city or municipality.
Okay. And I've heard you use the roadside interviews, tubes, radars. You also use the Miovision camera.
Yeah.
What have been like the biggest challenges you faced actually doing your work? Was it setting up the roadside interviews, or was it other challenges maybe?
Well, in general, I would say that acting as a small player in this area in Finland has maybe been the biggest challenge, because more and more cities, municipalities, they want to order a bigger or more complex services. They do not want to order a single measurement here and there. But when I worked at the Nevia company, we were a small company, and now I have this business on my own, so that's even smaller. So that's maybe the biggest challenge, to be able to provide all kinds of traffic counting, data collecting services as a very small company. Okay.
And while you were working at Nevia Oil, or even right now, did you notice a difference in the data accuracy standards from your clients? Like, say, for example, if you were talking to cities, they usually said, okay, we are okay with 80% accuracy, or private companies demanded higher accuracy rates. Was there a tendency, or what's your experience in that field?
Well, in general, I would say the smaller the customer and the smaller the project is, the less they are concerned about what accuracy is. At least that's my experience when providing services to small cities, small municipalities. They very much trust in me as a professional data provider, data collector. So they don't ask very much what is the accuracy. More in that way that I have to tell them that, okay, now we have a situation, if they want to have traffic counting in an intersection and they want me to use, for example, radar counters, I have to tell them, no, this is not possible to use radar counters in this location. But I would rather prefer, for example, to use Miovision because that's more accurate in these, for example, an intersection.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, compared to radars, Miovision is more expensive if they want to have a longer period of data collecting. So concerning the smaller customers, I, as a provider, have to guide them on which technology should be used in which locations. But then, of course, if we have a large tender going on to a large organization, then it could be very clearly specified what should be the accuracy, and they also have normally like another organization that verifies that the service that I provide has to be checked also.
Oh, okay.
So
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
But that actually provides me with the opportunity to maybe also ask our audience really quick of, what they are encountering in their line of work when it comes to accuracy. So let me ask you as the audience the question, which level of data accuracy do your clients most often demand actually? Okay, I launched the poll right here. So you have the opportunities. Is your clients looking at least 95% plus? Is it 85 to 95%, 75 to 85, or less than 75? Or they have no set level? So that basically means a little bit along the lines of Hendrik, who then has to give them some advice, which tools should be used and what is the best accuracy level they should meet. Okay. Give it again, another 20 seconds for all the votes to come in, and let's see what the outcome is.
I don't know what, but in my screen at least, I'm not able to choose anything here. I don't know. Is it just my screen, which is on my computer?
It might be just you. Yes, everybody else has the opportunity. You're not allowed to participate.
Okay.
All right, I see the results are in. Let me close the poll, but you should be able to see the results now. That's quite interesting. I mean, I'm happy to see that the majority has a demand of accuracy level of 95% plus. I'm glad to hear, because usually we see that customers are quite unaware, as you said, what accuracy levels they should be demanding. And we as a company, even myself, I always like to have the people, or get the people the highest they can get, because, as we usually tend to say, you need to have a solid foundation to start building the smart cities of tomorrow. And only if your bottom line data is correct, you can actually move on to the next one. I'm not sure if you would agree on that topic, Hendrik.
Yeah, well, of course, if you ask only the question, how much accuracy do you want, then of course everyone tells, well, I want 100%. But then if you ask, well, how much are you ready to pay for 95%? If you get 85% accuracy for half the price, so is that enough? So that's always, you have to discuss with the customer what do they use these results for, what purpose, and what are they ready to pay for which accuracy.
Okay, that's good to know. I will take definitely note of this, because we've seen or we had these conversations before as well. And for the ones who are customers from us, please let us know. It's always good to know about these insights, because that helps our sales reps obviously to cater to your particular needs when it comes to the rate cards, which are the representation of the individual prices for the accounts. I have another question. And which projects did you find you most often easier to to go through? And like, was it more, say for example, roadside interviews, or did you say it was good when it was coming from a larger engineering company who was very well versed in in the actual requests of the data, so you did not have to do too much consulting?
Well, so the question was which projects were easier than possible other projects. Well, once again, at least in Finland, it's the case that small cities, small municipalities, they do not have very much own personnel these days, because they are saving money. Whole municipalities have to save money, and they have to put people away that before have been doing these, for example, traffic counting operations. So providing data collecting services to small municipalities, I think is at least in Finland, is one of the technically easiest projects,
Okay.
so to say. But also providing services to traffic planning consultants could be, or if not easy, but it is at least very straightforward, because they do these surveys all the time, so they are very familiar with the issues which are or the challenges. And if I have a discussion with a consultant, and then we can plan together, okay, in this location we should have this technology, and in that location another technology. So it's much easier to, or it could be very easy to discuss with, because they are professionals.
Yeah. Okay.
The most difficult is to provide services to at least once again, my experience is to provide services to this Finnish Transport Infrastructure Agency, because that's very much bureaucracy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that you will not be alone. Probably other countries have the same problems as well. Well, coming back to your work at Nivea Oy in Finland, you did work for them some time, and I would say it was rather a very corporate environment. Why do I say that? Because when I looked up Nivea Oy and where it belonged to, I saw it's part of a larger Adamant group, which has about 250 employees and 100 million plus in revenue. So I could imagine you must have faced quite a few challenges while working in that environment. Say, for example, buying new technology to count traffic, or new platforms in order to visualize the data and so forth. But maybe you can elaborate a little bit on your challenges in a large corporate environment.
Yeah, well, the Nivea Oy was, or is still, a part of this Andament group, and this Andament group is more and more now focusing on infrastructure building, so building bridges, building roads, building water cleaning facilities, building parking garages, and such huge projects. And Nivea which was a part or is a part of this corporate, was the smallest company in that group, and was also kind of a, how I would say, the black sheep of the family, if you understood me correct. So we were quite specialized in what we did. So that was maybe a challenge. And that was also the reason maybe why all this focus of that corporate changes now during this year, and that ended up in an agreement with Nevia that I quit Nevia and I started this traffic collecting business on my own.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so, but as I mentioned before, this is a very challenging task to start up this kind of service on my own, because it's difficult to provide any bigger or larger services.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what do you usually tend to say? What are the projects which are difficult to handle in terms of size? Is it 6 intersections at a time, or is it it includes roadside surveys plus intersection counts?
Well, if there are projects which are or tenders which are too large for me, of course, one option is to say, lift my hands and say, sorry, I cannot provide this. Or another option is, of course, to try to find cooperation partners to be able to provide this service. Or it could be, in some cases, it is maybe also negotiable to prolong this. If they want, the original tender could say, okay, these measurements, these traffic countings have to be, for example, 50 counting locations and should be performed in 2 weeks. That's not possible for me. So then, of course, it could be possible to negotiate to prolong that time. Then it may be possible to do it on a longer period.
Yeah.
But as I told, this is I have only had my own company now for 5 months, so I have a lot of more work to do.
No, I can imagine. Starting up your own company is not always easy, and
so
I admire you that you actually took this route. So let me ask you this question on top of it. Since you now started your own company, but you also worked at Nevia Oil and before, in a perfect world where, let's put it a little bit blunt, money would be no objective, what would you think would be the perfect portfolio of traffic data collection devices or circumstances to move forward even faster? You say, okay, I need at least a couple of radar guns, I need a couple of tubes, some Miovision cameras, or even not Miovision, you don't need it. Things like this, you know what?
Yeah, well, I think advantage with the radar counters are, of course, that they are simple to use, and they are it's a cheap way of collecting data in 1+1 lane roads, particularly because you can collect 2 weeks of data at a very low price. But of course, these counters have their disadvantages also. They cannot classify the traffic very good, and the accuracy is maybe not on a level that every customer accepts. But nevertheless, the radar counters, I think, work very good under certain circumstances. But then of course, Miovision, and of course there are competitors to Miovision as well. But anyhow, the camera or video technology, I think, has a very good position in complex traffic environments, such as intersections. That's a typical environment where, at least my experience with Miovision is very good here, because with a single setup, with a single video that covers the whole intersection, it is very easy and very cost effective to collect a lot of data. You can get traffic amounts for every leg of the intersection. You can get the turning direction in the intersection, and you get the classification of the vehicles, and you get you get bicycles, you get motorcycles, and you get pedestrians on the crosswalks. Everything in one shot, in one shoot, so to say. So I think this is a very good package. And then of course everything is combined into one single service. Miovision has the camera which is particularly made for outdoor roadside environments and connected with the efficient service and the reporting facilities in DataLink, the web service. So I really think that Miovision has a strong position here.
So you would say that it's generally good to have, depending obviously on the customer and the individual projects, but in order to cater to the majority of the project, is to have, thank you for saying this, a couple of Miovision cameras, plus then some road tubes and some side radars or radars as well, in to cover the
yeah, at least for I'm of course can only speak for myself and my experience. Of course there are I suppose if you compare Finland's environment to for example Central Europe, if we try to do a comparison here, so Finland has 5 million people, and Finland has an area of 338,000 square kilometers, and Germany are 82 million people about, and almost the same area. So it's I should maybe not give any good advices to people from Germany or Central Europe because the circumstances and the environment are so very different.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for these insights. I really appreciate that. Just to let everybody know, you can ask Hendrik a couple of more questions in our Q&A section. I would like to move on in the presentation for now to give you maybe some more insights, or actually what we had on the agenda. So as a next step, we just want to dive quickly and very high level into the simplicity and flexibility of Miovision. All right, thank you, Hendrik, and we speak a bit later in the webinar. Okay, so stay on the line, don't go anywhere. Okay, all right. So simplicity and flexibility. When we spoke to the majority of the customers, we started realizing that collecting traffic data today has a very lengthy approach to it. So first, obviously, you receive the project. In a second step, you start scoping the project plus plan the individual data collection associated with it. You start scheduling, start installing the equipment. Depending on the individual technology we're using, you also have to find the right personnel to install the particular devices, and then you collect the data. So once you have this, you come back, you process it, analyze it. Most often people also want to validate it. which is one of the biggest problems with some of the technologies you have, because unfortunately they provide you with the source of ground truth, basically seeing, okay, was this really counted the right way? And then you present the results, write up your findings, and deliver your findings to your client and the project in an engineering circumstance. So we at Miovision thought, okay, why don't we simplify at least the traffic data collection process to make it easier, more simple to the end user. So you have the ability to instantly receive, create, and plan in data link with the data request feature. I'm going to show it to you in a couple of minutes. You also have a very simple to use traffic data collection device, which is almost deployed within 10 minutes. If you are a newbie, I would say so. It takes you a little bit longer. For me, it took almost 20 minutes the very first day because I couldn't get a hang of the rigid straps. And then after this, once you have the data uploaded to the Miovision servers, it usually takes standard 72 hours, but you can obviously speed up the process and ask for a premium processing, which then will take place within 24 hours. And the beauty of the whole thing is that we will not be delivering to you Excel, CSV files, or Word documents. You will have everything visualized and presented to you in the data lake platform, providing you with beautiful visualizations, but also with the opportunity to then download the before mentioned file formats like Excel, CSV, even PDFs. So, and just to give you a little bit of an overview of, okay, as mentioned, you plan with data link, you use our Scout to record, you send it to us for analytics, and then you get the necessary insight, and you have the opportunity to then process it even further, for example, importing it into other either modeling softwares or into the software of your choice. Yes, hardware. Why do we say it's so simple and easy to use? Well, it's a camera which is purpose-built, and as you could see, Hendrik is using it in Finland, particularly in the winter times. It's quite cold there. We also have customers who use it in the heats of Dubai, and there is no difference between the quality of the data you will receive at the end and also the individual working of the machine. It's a fully connected device, as you can see. I'm not sure if you see my mouse, but this little thing on the bottom where it says Miovision is the place for the connect. So you have the opportunity to access your device in the field from the comfort of your home, which has quite often led to the fact that people very much like this, as you have the ability to see with a time lag. Obviously, it's not real time what's going on or where's the camera actually pointing to. You also get alerts and insights on battery capacity as well as storage. So if you are programming a new video recording, is the battery and the storage sufficient enough to end this recording as well? We also included a Wi-Fi module, which you could use to run travel time reports to get a better understanding, in particular, of the travel time within the corridor. Some customers have used it for other purposes as well. We do have in the next couple of weeks, actually at the beginning of 2020, a new case study coming out where we have one of our engineering firms use our particular hardware in the setting of 28 locations to give recommendations on the improvement of traffic flow within a city. But what can we actually offer to you in terms of data extraction or processing? So we are capable of giving you insights on pedestrian, bikes, motorcycles, cars, trucks, light good vehicles, articulated trucks, and buses. Any particular custom wishes, we are always happy to listen to them and take a look. If you say, for example, we have customers in the city of Amsterdam who actually like to count the new sort of bike, the cargo bike. We've run a study with this with very good results. So that is something you could be adding to the classes available here. These are the standard classes, and any custom classes could be arranged as well, as long as the quality permits. Traffic studies you are capable of running with the Scout is intersection counts, volume counts, so regular ATRs. You can use it at roundabouts. Obviously, you can collect travel time reports, but you can also use it for pedestrian and bicycle counts either at a regular pathway or at a junction, meaning intersection as well. So most people use it in parks, say for example, to get a better understanding of the movements of the park visitors. I can also tell you we have a very nice use case coming up again, beginning of 2020, where we had a customer in Italy did actually an insight on the pedestrian movements of a train station. So that might be something you like to read about, how you could utilize our Scout in individual study opportunities to come up with recommendations on improvements on pedestrians. Okay, yes. Next thing, now that we talked about simplicity, I actually want to show you a little bit about, because since we are here on the webinar for business growth, growing your business and so forth, what you can do with Data Link when it comes to talking to your customers. You probably seen an email go around some time ago for the ones who are already customers, that we have changed a few things in terms of displaying your logo. So let me put this in the main screen. I hopefully everybody can see this now. Okay. All right. If you could quickly tell me, let me double check. Yeah. Okay, you should be now seeing the screen right here. So when I mention about talking to your customers, it is always nice if you share one of your studies with your customer. We did not have the opportunity to highlight your logo. This is now possible within the individual study view. As you can see, you have a picture of the logo on the top right and also on the top left. So if you upload it in your organizational frame, that would be, let me double check here, actually under account. Okay, under profile right here. So you can not only put your personal information of the main person, but also can reference a referral URL right here. Not sure if you're capable of seeing this. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. All right, so you can put a referral email. I will show you how this works in a second. And then you can also add your different logos, either on a dark background or on a light background. And you can also give or create a marketing card as well. Marketing cards is something special within Data Link. So say, for example, if you want to showcase yourself to others within your region and they are users of Data Link, they would be able to see your particular company when they submit a data request. Okay, but coming back to the opportunity of using a referral URL is we have a customer in North America, Gerald Hamilton, which is using the particular referral email to receive requests for data collection. So as you could see, they put a link right here. So when you click on the link, it will be you will be taken to the data link login page, but instead of seeing the Miovision logo, you will be seeing your own logo itself. So then you just have to have the customer create an account in data link and start to then using the request feature, what I will show you briefly. And with the help of the request feature, the individual user has then, or the requester has then the opportunity to create a particular data collection request for your company. So let me move through it really fast. So they can just pick the individual study type for 48 hours on a specific date, let's say from tomorrow onwards. So they can select all the individual classes, okay, and so forth, counting bicycles on crosswalks. So everything there is possible. You click the next button, and then you just basically drop the individual pins with a mouse click right here, there, there, and there to highlight the locations of the traffic collection. Move on to the next step, where you then have the opportunity to select your individual or preferred vendor. That's going to be me in this type. You can add any additional co-workers if that is requested. So everybody who works with you on the data collection, you could be added to it as well. And then just get a summary very briefly and nicely, and then you can hit the request and estimate, and the data request will be sent to you directly into your inbox. You can click on it and then start the conversation with as well. The beauty of this, you can also use the same feature as a data collector to plan the individual studies, actually the same way I just highlighted to you as well. Okay, let's go back. When I mentioned talking to your customers and helping you market, Miovision, or particular myself, I thought there must be a better way we can communicate, not only communicate, but we can help our accounts to grow. And Hendrik is a great example for this. Maybe that's something for him as well, where we have the opportunity to help you to get even more successful with your traffic data collection department or business in general. So what does this entail? So first of all, we want you obviously to register with us, and registration means building the necessary knowledge, not only of data link, but also of what is our hardware and software capable of. And we have various opportunities for you. That's when you sit down, particularly with me, to come up with a plan in terms of activities and individual campaigns to help you grow within your market. And we then want to use the opportunity, once you have the strategy in place, and pick the individual items, which can range from a webinar like this today to having collateral being produced and so forth, to differentiate your business from your competition and actually start penetrating the market much more. So, and all of this obviously should lead in the last stage to growing your business and actively and continuously promoting the services you have to offer, and build a strong relationship, not only with us as Miovision, but also with your customers as well, and drive the possibilities within your market forward. So this was a very high-level overview of the program we have available. There's actually much more to it, in particular when it comes down to building your strategy for your individual market based up on the campaigns you could be running or the individual collaterals being part of these campaigns. But that I want to hold off for more one-on-one conversations. So now I like to invite Hendrik back as well, and I like to open the room for our Q&A section. So I appreciate if you ask any questions to me, to Hendrik, and yes. So fire away the questions you can put in the box and go to webinar control panel, and we would be just reading out the individual question and then answer them right away. Okay. All right. Any questions at this point? No. I see there's one question. Okay. The overall general question about how about GDPR in the European Union. Well, that's a difficult question to answer, in particular in this section. Is what I can give you right now. We do have a data privacy concept I can forward to you. It's a leaflet talking about what we do for protecting the data, but also trying to mitigate the risk of actually collecting personal data via the video. So we have different recording modes, and depending on the regional circumstances, you would have to use one or the other. It is, as I say, it's a difficult subject to quickly answer, and if you like, I can approach you a little bit later to give you some insights as well, or if you have very particular questions. Yeah. Maybe a question from me to you, Hendrik. Has this GDPR problem been so far a difficulty within your line of work in the last couple of months, or?
No, it has not stopped any businesses for me, but questions are arising every now and then about GDPR. But isn't it so, Roman, that in general the quality of the recorded video with the Miovision system is on purpose made not to, the quality is not so good, so it's very difficult to see any persons, or you see that there is a person but you cannot recognize the face, for example.
Correct. So you don't see you will not be able to see the faces and license plates. So these are most often the most important identifiers. So with any type of recording or quality selection at the Miovision Scout, you would not be able to see the faces as well as the license plate. And we do offer a third recording mode where the entire video gets put into black and white, so even taking the colors out.
Okay.
So we go very far, depending, as I say, on the regional circumstances. There might be additional insights or actually questions being asked, but so far there's nothing cropped up which we were not able to help with. I see that we do have, could you please explain the approach followed by Miovision for roundabout data processing, especially for larger roundabouts, which are covered with multiple cameras? So usually when you have a larger roundabout, obviously what we are capable of doing is, or you should be using more than one camera in order to capture the individual entrances and exits of the individual arms. We then have a particular algorithm helping also to potentially identify entire movements as well. So going around the entire roundabout. So if you have somebody who's going 360 degrees, for example, depending on the setup, this can be can render very good results. And in general, we ask our clients if the setup is quite complicated to actually let us know at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance, because we are offering as a company a setup recommendation to render you the best results possible.
May I, Roman, add a question concerning this issue here? I'm just wondering about these roundabouts and the cameras. Where it would be very nice to have a 360-degree camera which could be placed in the middle of the roundabout. Is this anything that is under development, or have this been discussed?
I know that the roadmap is now quite lengthy and full of new feature requests, and when it will take place, I am not 100% sure. We are very aware of the fact that people like to have a feature like this. For now, it is not something I see coming too soon. Most often is that we also notice that a lot of roundabouts do have objects in the middle, in particular when they are larger roundabouts. And
okay,
yeah, even then it's very difficult if you would have the 360-degree view camera to see the entire roundabout, because you have these objects in the middle. So you would have black spots as well. So as a great example, Arc de Triomphe would be something like this. If you put a camera in the middle, it'd be very difficult for you to see all the arms, even though it's 360 degrees. I have a question on accuracy. Okay, so our general accuracy is 95% plus on all movements of cars, bicycles, and pedestrians. Depending on the setup, we obviously have to go down with the accuracy, but that's where I mentioned, if you are unsure how to set up the camera to achieve the best accuracy possible, please contact us with the intersection and we will give you a setup recommendation. Also, when we start processing the video, we have a star rating, which gives you the necessary insights and how good your setup was. And based up on this, you will receive a particular accuracy result at the end. So before we process the study any further, you will get notified and being told, okay, the setup has not been so good. Do you like to proceed, and are you okay with the accuracy rating at the end? I have a question on drones, as well as if we work with videos. We do actually have a couple of customers which provided us with drone videos. That's actually the same circumstance as in any other. So if you do not have a Miovision camera, and we cannot guarantee that the outcome of the results is as good as with our camera. But two, we do not shy away from using that video you provide us to test and see if we can process it with the necessary results as well. So if you do have a video from a drone or so, contact your sales rep, say I like to give this a try and a test, and we will see what we can do. And I hope that I could answer your question with this as well. Yeah. Okay, I think we are already a little bit over time as well, and I don't want you to yeah, stay away from your work. I think you all have very busy schedules. We will send up a follow-up email with a link to the video or to the webinar recording as well. I will also include, if it's okay, the contact details of Hendrik. If you have some personal questions, or you say, I have a project in Finland and I like to cooperate with with Hendrik on these kinds of projects, so I very much like to make the connections there. I will also ask the question, if you want to know more about our marketing partner program, I would love to discuss this with you on a phone call. Hendrik, if you like to get a little bit more insight on this, I'm more than happy to schedule a call throughout the week and see what we can do.
Okay.
And I say thank you very much to all of you, and thank you, Hendrik, for attending, and I wish you all a beautiful day.
Yeah, thank you also from my side, and thank you for inviting me to this. Okay, have a nice week.
You too, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.